Hello, everyone. This is Daniel, and I'm going to be talking to you about being the stewards of the earth. Obviously, there's been a little bit of a weather problem, and obviously, what's been going on with this weather pattern problem is that, as you can see, that during the beginning month of February, there was this warm cycle that was happening at the beginning of January. Then there was a warm cycle that was happening at the end of January. I'm tired. And then basically at the very end of January, it got extremely cold. So first it got really warm for January. They got really cold for New England. And especially it got really cold for places like Wisconsin, Chicago, South Dakota, all these places, and especially Minnesota, where this place is like negative 72 with wind chill. Flash freeze is like negative 16. Felt like negative 72. Yeah. And that meant that flash freeze was really real. People didn't have the actual structures for that. Toilets broke. Basically, the frozen area of the actual houses came in, like the freeze itself came into the houses, came into the cars. That's a problem. Then all of a sudden it got really warm and all the snow was gone. This was the beginning of February. And we're still in the beginning of February, I believe. If I got this right. Yeah, we're still in the beginning of February. Getting to the moderate side of February, like halfway there. So just remember that God is weeping for this. He is really weeping because this was not original. This is not what the world used to be. It's being polluted with much of pollution is coming from warehouses, basically factories and unnatural buildings, stuff, and computers. This is very unnatural, and basically all this pollution, making computers and all that, all these pollution was not original. I mean, back in the 1500s and I would say 1200s, there used to be castles. That was nothing too major. And then back in the biblical times, that was something original. And especially back in the times where nature was thriving. That was original. There's always man, but there's not always technology. Technology is very unusual. So sadly, since the 1800s, since the late 1800s, this planet Earth was slowly dying. It's like this pollution is like cancer. And it's slowly dying and it's killing off the planet Earth. This planet Earth was so beautiful without us. But it was so beautiful with us. And we gotta remember that all of the things that we're doing is harming the planet Earth. Not every single thing, but all of the things that contribute to that is really harming the planet Earth. Like the internet, the phones. I mean, the iPhones were just invented, I would say, 2007. There are smartphones since last decade. And that's within lifetimes. If you're younger than that, then, you don't know what it's like to have no internet, no smartphone. I was born in a time where I was playing with a hose. I was outdoors. I was going out in the woods. I was bicycling. I had my fun. But now people are having so much dopamine pumped into them with all these tools that not only are they draining energy from all the other sources of the planet Earth. I mean, all of that has to go from somewhere. So instead of actually making the Earth, protected. They're actually pumping the oil out of the ground and polluting it. The earth has to put that all somewhere. And pollution is with all that energy going in one pocket of the earth, but the frozen part of it is just okay. It's just not, it's doing weird things. Let me explain this to you. There's a source of energy. This computer you're looking at is a source of energy. This is a source of energy. Energy is right here. But instead of energy, the furnace is energy. It's heat. This computer's energy is electricity. And another source of energy is our bodies, because energy is either heat or flash heat, like the sun, like the lightning, like explosions. And then there's heat like fire. That's the second source of heat. I mean, there's, like I said, three, but, I said four of them, including the three, but, flash heat, there's heat, and then there's the subtle heat, that's water. So so basically, heat is all, flash of energy. Fire is energy. Electricity is energy and all that. Explosion is energy. And fire, so as far as also energy. And then there's subtle energy. Me moving my hand is energy. And breathing is energy. All the things that we do are energy. All that energy comes from trees. So the fruit that we eat goes to the animals, and then animals produce that kind of energy as well to us. So all the things we eat give us energy. So, for instance, have you seen a fat person with all that kind of energy inside of him, like all that food that he's eaten? Have you seen a fat person like having a hard time breathing and barely able to walk because he's so heavy? That's the earth right now. It's having a hard time keeping its energy stored in certain places, and it's like the earth is fat with energy. It's like the earth can't handle so much. It's like it's going out of energy. It's slowly dying from the cancerous amount of energy. All that pollution is energy. And it's like the fat cells are like CO2 emissions. Like it's the CO2 emissions smell bad and it's causing death, and that's the death energy. And that energy is going to the skies and blocking. It's literally blocking the ozone, or what we should probably call the sphere zone, wherever we call it. It's blocking the ozone, and it's also causing the ozone to rip apart because there's so much heat going to this one part of the ozone that it has to exit somehow. So it's exiting out of Antarctica. So this ice caps are melting everywhere. Then the heat has to go somewhere in the world also without going to Antarctica. So basically, it's going in waves, as tearing apart the North Pole, the Antarctic, the Arctic North Pole waves of energy. So the energy is tearing that apart. So that's basically fat in very unusual places. That's energy in unusual places. So the lesser energy is going to places like Chicago, Virginia, and all the other places. That's where all the flash freezes is going. So all that means is we are literally killing the planet by stuffing it energy, like stuffing it food. But it's garbage food. It really is garbage food. This planet Earth is causing itself. I mean, this planet Earth, we're causing the planet Earth to really die. We're actually suffocating the planet Earth with all this energy called most smokestacks. You know how fire causes smoke? That's the end result of energy. It's actually, you know, particles that's particles from fire. And we're blocking the earth with fire particles. The smokestacks, it's like the CO2. We don't know what that is, but we know it's like particles. And all this energy is it's really doing weird things to the planet. And you know this computer was built with a lot of pollution. It was built with a serious amount of pollution. This computer is slowly killing the planet. Even your computer is slowly killing the planet. Your computer is. Just remember, it's not going to be a good situation because God is crying for this planet. He is missing his nostalgia on this planet. He really is. Because he knows he has to end this planet. He's going to get his way one day. And he is going to change his situation and make it twice as much better. Actually, he's going to make it infinitely better than what it was on Earth. He knows he can do that. And heaven awaits for those who knew the situation much gravely. Sin made this planet the way it was. Sin made this planet fat. Sin made this planet fat. So know what's going on. Because there's much destruction for those who don't care about this planet and other people. There's much destruction for those that don't care about other people. And you know, this pit is for angels who rebel against God. It's also, unfortunately, a place where people go because they've rebelled against God as well, by sinning, by eating of the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. So the earth is pretty much corrupted. But on the other hand, we've literally, in hell, basically, for if we don't care about each other, if we don't love each other, we'll be dragging each other down and biting each other down and literally clawing at each other and grabbing at each other and crushing each other because we don't care and because we want to go get to the top and out of there. And there will be much fire because there's the top of hell, which is many people, demons, and the devil. That's the top of hell. And the bottom of hell, that's basically the lake of fire. But really, it's there's the actual top of it, and then there's the cave chambers. There's also places like there's a lot of suffering, and then there's also places of rot, which is near the bottom of hell. There's a lot of problems for those that don't care about each other, especially about God. There's a lot of pollution because we don't care about each other. We just care about ourselves. We're just inventive, not creative. We have to be more creative, that's all. Alright, I'll be done now, okay? Bye. I seem to lose here.